Welcome everybody. Tony with Not Lost, Just Living. My second half, Ginger, is still working, but I'm off. And if anybody knows, we are still working remotely while we travel and see things across the U.S. We left Indiana back in June of this year, and since that time we have been multiple places. Currently we're in Clearwater, California. Not Clearwater, Clear Lake, California. And so doing a little preface video to the intro video that I'm going to do for our first stop, which was Thompson Causeway in Savannah, Illinois. And then we left there and went to Volga River in Volga, Iowa. And then we left there and went to Detroit Lakes in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. So we didn't do a lot of video stuff on those three places because those were kind of our shakedown runs to try to make sure everything was working as it needed to be. We found a lot of problems. We found some problems. We had problems with the truck. We had some problems with our solar. We had problems with our e-bikes. So yeah, we had some issues. We've got them all corrected. We're pretty sure we got them all corrected, and we're kind of in some smooth sailing. We've done some off-grid BLM camping along the way, and which we'll get to. So again, this is just a quick preface video to let you know kind of all that background. I've got a little section that we did for the country campground in Detroit Lakes, but we're going to run a little bit of video and some pictures of both Thompson and Volga and Detroit Lakes as well in this particular video. Following that one, we're gonna follow that up with our BLM site that we were up on Grouse Mountain Mesa in the Bighorn Forest in Wyoming. Is that Wyoming? Yeah, I think it was Wyoming. Which was just outside of Buffalo, Wyoming, and we were up there for probably 10 days on the mountain before we left, and went to a quick stop at Hazleton in North Dakota. Then we left there and went to Custer, South Dakota, and that's a Crazy Horse, Mount Rushmore, Sylvan Lake, and so on and so forth video, which will be following this one. Anyway, let me get you to what we have on file for our first legs, and then we'll catch back up. Thanks for coming along. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Not Lost, Just Living. We are not lost, just living. We're at Detroit Lakes. We're at Country Campground, and I must say that Country Campground is a lovely place, and the owners, Karen and Todd, are fantastic. They've been fantastic. So just a shout out to them and the place. Yeah, just a quick little survey here. That's their place right there. Office, of course, is up front, but you know, you've got a nice view, a really lovely campground, and this is our resident little chipmunk, little Chippy. We call him Chippy because he's not really afraid of anything. He hangs out. He comes every day in the morning, and with Ginger putting a bunch of bird seed out for everybody, he comes and just hangs out with us, and we haven't got him to take anything out of our hands yet, but we're pretty darn close. So he's a nice little guy, and of course these are ginger plants that travel with us. And of course, let me get some of this over here. So it's a fire pit, our grate, a couple chairs, a picnic table, and then our club chairs and all that. We yesterday we have the awning shades, and these guys right here are the upper section that you slide into the track, and then you zipper on the bottom section and extend it out. I've also, our LED lights on our awnings had failed, and so I stripped those off and I got a set on, and then when I went to put this set on, it had a bad solder point, and it shorted out the fuse and blew the fuse. Now that's been our other scenario here, is where on earth, and let me show you Chip again. So again, not scared, he just hangs out. Was where the fuse for the awning lights is or was in a 2017 Grand Design Momentum 376TH. So it took an unbelievable amount of searching on YouTube and in Google or whatever before I stumbled across a gentleman that had the same problem and could not for the life find the fuse for the awning LED lights. He was able to track it down to a control panel that is the awning power control panel, which is located in that front bay right there behind a false wall this way. So not only do you have your 110 breakers in the kitchen, you also have your main 12 volt panel in there, but there are two secondary 12 volt panels behind that false wall in that front basement area, front basement, front bay, front storage. And so one side of that 12 volt control panel has 6 10 amp fuses in there, and they range from all kinds of stuff that is not part of the 12 volt panel next to the breaker section in the kitchen. And they control different lights and different functions and different motors and this and that, which I did not know about. And there's also a control panel under there for the awnings themselves, so the awning motors that bring them in and bring them out. And on that panel there's also another panel that controls the gas water heater, electric water heater, the water pump, and a tank, and a spot for a tankless. And of course we have a tankless. Long story short, in the bottom left hand corner of that panel for the awning motors is a 3 amp fuse, and a 3 amp is green, so it's very dark, and if you don't know it's there, you wouldn't know it's there. Long story short, this guy posted a picture of it and circled the location, and sure enough, I went in there, found it, and it had blown. So I replaced it. I don't have a 3. I've got every other amperage and type, whether it's a mini fuse or a maxi fuse, but didn't have a 3. So I put a 5 in it and tested it, and the 5's just fine. And I wanted to make sure, hey, if it does short out, is it going to be enough to pop a 5 amp? So I went up and pushed where that bad solder point was, and poof, it popped it. So I think a 5 is just fine. Now on my motorcycle I run LEDs, and they're on a 10 amp fuse, and so anyway, I think that's just going to be fine. Long story short, I'm going to post a picture of that control panel when we do the video here. When this video gets released, I'll make sure that I put that in there too, because I know there's a lot of other momentums, and not just the 376 or the 397s. They're the 351s and the 355s, and you know, the G class and the M class. From what I understand, they all have the very same panel that's hidden behind this false wall in one of their basements. So if I can point this out and present it to everybody, hopefully that's going to help a lot of people, because when I do research on it, everybody is having the same problem, whether it's a short from the original ones or whatever the case may be, and they simply can't find where that awning LED fuse is located. So anyway, so just wanted to share, we're getting ready to take off and do a Walmart run. This is Saturday the 13th. We are here until Thursday the 18th. We take off on the 18th, and we're heading to just south of Bismarck, North Dakota, to Hazelton Recreation Area. We're only going to be there 3 days. So from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we're leaving out Sunday on the 21st, and heading down to Custer, South Dakota, to a campground called Broken Arrow. We're going to be down there 10 days so that we can do the Badlands and see Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse and all that other stuff, and hopefully get in some riding time on the bike. With that being said, we're going to make a Walmart run today and pick up some last minute items so that we can get that out of the way and have those in stock in the store. And then probably Tuesday, I'll put the bike back in there and lock it down in the garage, and we'll pick up all our extra stuff. On Wednesday, I'll probably load up the kayaks and the e-bikes. And just speaking of e-bikes, originally I bought 2 Aventon level 2s, one for Ginger and one for myself. And from the day I got it, my pedal assist had never worked, and so I've gotten in touch with Aventon. They're busy, I get it. You know, I made phone calls, I made emails, I opened up tickets, and finally, a week or so ago, actually it's been about 2 weeks now, I responded to one of the tickets and just said, this is crazy. Anyway, getting back to the original story, I did get a hold of tech support, and they said, okay, that sounds like it's a bad torque sensor controller. So they put an order out for it, and I expected to see it in a couple of days. And this was when we were back in at Thompson Causeway in Iowa, and a week goes by and there's no update on the ticket, and I reach out to them, finally get a hold of somebody via a phone call, and they said, well, normally we ship it out in 2 or 3 days, but this is our busy time, it could be up to 2 or 3 weeks. And I tried to explain to them, like, you know, we're not any place 2 or 3 weeks. And so they tried to change the address, they couldn't change the address. Anyway, so a couple of weeks go by, and I finally get a call from a gentleman with Aventon's tech support, the elevated level 2 tech support or whatever. And we talk about the controller, and he said, I don't believe it's a controller issue. Let's try resetting the torque sensor, which we did, and that didn't help. And at the end of the day, he said, you know what, instead of us sending you the torque sensor and the tools and having you go through all that to replace it, or finding a bike shop to be able to do it, how about we just get you a whole new bike, which I wanted to do from the get-go. Because when I did my original orders, I ordered a large and I ordered a regular, because a large, I'm a tall guy, I got long legs, so I've been using the regulars. But finally he said, hey, let's get you a replacement. We found an e-bike place close here to Detroit Lakes. They shipped it there. I went and took my old one, dropped it off, grabbed the new one, and it's been awesome ever since. So say hi, Ginger, to the folks.
Hi to the folks.
Okay, so anyway, just wanted to bring you up to date on that for a little bit. We're getting ready to take off and do our Walmart run, so we'll check back in.
The Walmart.
To the Walmart and the Aldi and wherever else we can find. So with that being said, hey, I'm going to sign off, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Oh, okay.
We are on the road, ladies and gentlemen. Not lost, just living. We are just left country campground. You'll have to pardon
The singing.
the singing in the background from the Kit Kats here. They
Singing the songs of their people.
singing the songs of the people. They don't enjoy travel day any more than the humans do, but yeah, that's part of it. All right, hold on. Hey, you know better than that. Come on, Eli, stay up on the console.
Get back in the back.
All right, so back to so we just left Country Campground in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Pardon the bouncing here. I'm trying to do this one-handed here. And are on our way to Hazelton Recreation Area in North Dakota, just south of Bismarck.
Yes, you guys were okay.
So yeah, lovely travel day. We spent most of yesterday loading up everything that needed to be loaded up, kayaks, e-bikes, everything that we had outside, the plant menagerie, and everything else. So got all that done, and today we had about an hour to finish up what little bit we had left to do before we had to pull out for the next peeps to come in. So anyway, on the road, we are westbound I-94 towards Bismarck, South Dakota, and Hazelton Recreation Area, where we'll be for 3 whole days. And then afterwards, we will be heading to Broken Arrow in Custer, South Dakota, where we're going to be in the Mount Rushmore area, and we're going to see the Badlands. We're going to take the motorcycle out and do the Needles Highway, see Crazy Horse, all that good stuff. So, just checking in, letting you know that we are on the road, on the way, trucking with our with my lovely wife Ginger, who is working as we travel, and these guys. That'll be Eli, the gray, Harry, the calico, and you probably can't see him back there, but Cashman, the all in black. Thank you for coming along. A little bit of the scenery here, and as we have just a little bit of time left over in beautiful Minnesota, which, by the way, when they say 10,000 lakes, man, they are not kidding. But when you get out of that, it's a lot like Iowa. Flat farmland. Beautiful nonetheless. We'll catch them when we get a little bit closer, and we'll do our next one.